Hey guys, so in the last couple of days, we all have heard about ChatGPT and how awesome it is. And hands down, I have to agree, this is a really powerful tool which can be used to make our life simpler and easier, and probably faster as well. Uh, so I'm gonna demo this tool in displaying one of the technical indicator that we generally use in the trading world and how we can use that indicator to eventually make the trading buy and sell decisions for us. Um, the indicator that I'm going to talk about is called Bollinger Band. And if you don't know about it, no need to worry about it because we'll ask ChatGPT, right? Bollinger Bands. All right, let's see what it has to say about Bollinger Band. Okay, it is an indicator invented by John Bollinger in the 1980s. It consists of a moving average and two standard deviation lines, one above and one below the moving average. And these bands are used to measure volatility and to identify potential buying or selling opportunities, right? So at a very high level, it takes a 20-day moving average, then it calculates its standard deviation, adds to the moving average, and if our price beyond our the new price standard deviation that we have just calculated, if it goes above that price, we consider that the stock has been overbought and we try to sell this stock at that point. And if the price goes below the lower band, where we actually subtract uh, the standard deviation from the moving average, if it goes below that price, we actually buy the asset. Now, generally, there is no reason for this kind of volatility in a stock if there is no market news or any company action or corporate action happening for that stock. So that's why we generally use for the if there is a volatility in the stock, we can actually use it to buy or sell that particular asset, right? So let's see what it has to say about Bollinger Band for volatile stock, because we are talking about volatility and how we can use this stock for use this indicator for volatile stocks. Okay, it can be particularly useful for volatile stocks because they help to identify periods of high and low volatility. When a stock's price moves outside of the upper Bollinger Band, it may indicate that the stock is overbought, as we discussed, right? And it is due for a price correction, so it is likely to come back down. So we already sell when it is at higher price, and then again the same goes true when it is below. So what we really want is, ChatGPT to give us some code where we can start working and build a bot out of it once we backtest it. All right. So let's go ahead and ask ChatGPT strategy based on Bollinger Bands for volatile stocks, and we need code for it, right? So let's go ahead and ask ChatGPT. Okay, let's see what it has to provide. All right, what it is currently doing is this is a Python code. We generally test Python code in Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to read through the code and see if we can, if this is a good strategy, and can we use this for our advantage, right? Um, All right. So what it is doing is importing couple of libraries inbuilt, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. Then it is reading from a data file which we have, where we have downloaded our data, stock data CSV, and it is putting into a data frame. And then it is creating in that data frame another column, 20-day moving average, and it is calculating that. It is calculating the standard deviation in the next line, and then it is also calculating the two standard deviation that we talked about, basically the upper band and the lower band. So our upper band, so remember, it's not written on the paper that it has to be a 20-day moving average. based on the stock and the volatility. You can calculate it for 30 days, 40 days, depends upon the asset, right? Depends upon how good your back testing results are, right? But we have to begin somewhere, right? So we begin with 20-day moving average. And similarly, where you need to calculate your upper band also depends upon, so here what it is doing is it is just multiplying it by 2, your standard deviation, and adding it onto your moving average. And it is also subtracting it from the moving average, the same thing, to calculate the lower band. Now you can multiply it with by 3, 4. It depends upon how bigger of a band you want, right? Right. Then what it is doing is it is plotting on a graph, basically all the close prices, the upper band and the lower band that we just calculated. And then it just shows here. And the next step is it is actually calculating all the, okay, so signals is generate signals. Okay, here it actually calls an inbuilt, a function that it has created where it is calculating the signals. All right, signals are nothing, we want, whether we want to buy or sell it, right? So what it is doing is it is seeing, okay, if my data close is less than my data of lower band, meaning for any particular day, if my close price is less than lower band, that means I have to buy. So all it is doing is, okay, this is one, this is some sort of signal it is indicating over here, one. And then again, for the sell, most likely it is actually creating as -1. All right, so there is, when it says signal is 1, it is planning to buy. When signal is -1, it is planning to sell. Anyway, so again, it's very straightforward. You can see if it is less than lower band, our price, we buy. If it is greater than upper band, we sell. All right. And then it is trying to plot our signals on the graph. All right. All right. So this is pretty neat code. Let's copy this code and try to backtest on one of the stock data that we have downloaded. All right. Let me open. Okay, so here you can see I have downloaded a snap ticker data for from 2018 till 2019, and the various column that I have in the CSV file is symbol, date, open, close, high, low, volume, trade, and VWAP, which is your weighted average volume. All right, let me go ahead and create a file for Bollinger Band.py, because all our Python code ends with .py. I don't see any error over here. Looks a pretty neat code. Let me go ahead and save it, and I will try to run it to see if it is displaying correctly or not. All right, it is running, and let's see. Okay, I see a figure on my screen. All right, let me bring it here. Okay, so the close is basically the price of the stock where it is being closed, then upper band and my lower band. Somehow I'm not able to see uh, the buy signals and upper signal on the same graph. Maybe it is plotted somewhere else. Um, But okay, so the idea is, as you can see, as the graph is moving here, if it is above this, we sell here and we generally buy it here, okay? And this is how you eventually build any bot by calculating the number of buys, number of sells, and the profit that it can eventually lead over a longer period of time, right? And again, to do that, we'll have to modify our code in the sense, okay, I need to calculate when did I buy, when did I sell, and how much do I buy, how much do I sell, and all those factor. But you can see, just to begin, somewhere I have the code in front of me, right? All right, so I have another figure in front of me the moment I closed it. So you can see the various signal it is buying and selling. Now, well, it does tell me the date. It would have been better if it would have plotted on the same graph. But this is good enough, like if we know the date where it is indicator, where it is indicating, where we have to buy and where we have to sell, we can kind of map it. But again, the code could have been a little bit better, so we could have seen it in the same graph. But nevertheless, now we know, like how quickly we can implement any indicator out there, use it to first have a better understanding of what these indicators do, and then enhance on top of it whatever tweaking we need to do to make it better, to make a profitable strategy. We can do that and eventually implement in the real trading broker system. All right, so yeah, thank you very much. I really enjoyed giving this demo, so thank you. Bye.